Welcome back to our channel. Today's story is about a young man who had only $10 left, but refused to give up on his dreams. If you've ever felt broke, lost, or tired of struggling, this story is for you. So sit back, relax, and let this powerful journey inspire you to keep fighting for a better life. A small apartment in Chicago. Cold winter outside. Bills stacked on the kitchen table. And 24-year-old Daniel sitting alone, staring at his phone after getting another "we'll call you back" message from a job interview. Life wasn't going the way he imagined. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, worked part-time delivering food, then spent hours applying for jobs that never replied. Some days he skipped meals just to save money for rent. His friends were already buying cars, traveling, posting smiling pictures online, while he was counting coins at a gas station. But deep inside, Daniel knew something most people didn't. He knew struggle wasn't punishment. It was preparation. One night, after a long shift, he looked at himself in the mirror and said, "I can either complain about my life, or change it." That moment changed everything. Daniel started using every free minute to learn new skills online. While others slept, he studied digital marketing, communication, and business. He stopped wasting time trying to impress people and focused on improving himself instead. It wasn't easy. There were nights he felt exhausted. Days when rejection made him question his worth. Moments when giving up felt easier than trying again. But he kept moving forward. Slowly, things began to change. A small freelance project turned into regular clients. Regular clients turned into steady income. And steady income gave him something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. 5 years later, Daniel stood in front of his own office building in downtown Chicago. Not because life suddenly became fair, but because he refused to quit when life got hard. People saw his success. But they never saw the lonely nights. The fear. The sacrifice. The silent tears behind closed doors. Success didn't come from luck. It came from discipline, patience, and believing in himself when nobody else did. And that's the truth about life. Money is part of reality. Struggles are part of reality. But so is growth. Being broke doesn't mean you're weak. Starting from nothing doesn't mean you'll stay there forever. Sometimes the hardest seasons of life build the strongest version of you. So if life feels heavy right now, keep going. Work in silence. Stay patient. Trust your journey. Because one day, the same struggle that almost broke you will become the story that inspires everyone around you. Even though Daniel's life was finally changing, a new kind of pressure began to appear. People started looking at him differently. The same people who once ignored him now wanted pictures with him. Some even said, "Man, you got lucky." Daniel would just smile. Because he knew something they didn't. People only see the results. They never see the struggle behind the success. One late night after work, Daniel stopped his car in front of an old gas station. The same gas station where he once stood counting coins just to buy food. He sat there quietly for a moment. Memories started hitting him all at once. The days he only had $10 in his pocket. The nights he hid his pain behind a fake smile. The voices that kept telling him, "You'll never make it." Suddenly, his phone buzzed. It was a text from his younger brother. "Bro. I think I want to give up. Feels like I'm never gonna be successful." Daniel took a deep breath. Because years ago, he had said those exact same words to himself. That night, he took his brother to the rooftop of a building overlooking the city. Bright lights everywhere. Cold wind blowing. Cars moving below them. After a few seconds of silence, Daniel finally spoke. "Listen, life doesn't hand anyone an easy path. But one thing you gotta remember is this. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who keep getting back up every single time. His brother stayed quiet, listening carefully. Daniel looked at him and continued. When you have nothing left, two things will keep you alive: patience and belief in yourself. People will laugh at you. They'll underestimate you. They'll doubt you. But if you keep going, one day those same people will respect you. That night, his brother didn't say much. But for the first time in a long time, hope returned to his eyes. A few months later, his brother started a small online business. The beginning was difficult. Money was tight. Nothing happened overnight. But this time, he wasn't afraid anymore. Because Daniel had taught him something powerful. Successful people are not fearless. They simply learn how to move forward even when fear is standing right in front of them. And that is the real power of life. Months passed, and Daniel's brother, Ethan, kept pushing forward with his small online business. At first, barely anyone noticed it. Some days he made no sales at all. Other days, he questioned whether all the hard work was even worth it. But every morning, he still woke up early. Still worked late into the night. Still believed that one day his life would change. One evening, while packing orders in his tiny apartment, Ethan looked around the room and smiled. The apartment was small. The furniture was old. And the future was still uncertain. But something inside him had changed. He was no longer afraid of struggling. Because now he understood something most people never realize. Success isn't built in comfort. It's built in sacrifice. A few weeks later, Ethan's business video suddenly went viral online. Thousands of people started sharing it. Orders began pouring in faster than he could handle. For the first time in years, he finally felt like life was opening a door for him. Excited, he called Daniel immediately. "Bro, it's happening." Daniel smiled quietly on the other side of the phone. But instead of celebrating too much, he said something Ethan would never forget. Stay humble. Stay focused. A moment can change your life, but discipline is what keeps you there. Those words stayed in Ethan's mind. As time passed, both brothers slowly built the kind of life they once dreamed about. Not perfect. Not easy. But meaningful. One night during a family dinner, their mother looked at them with tears in her eyes. Years ago, she used to pray silently while worrying about unpaid bills and uncertain days. Now she was watching her son smile again. And in that moment, Daniel realized something deeper than money or success. The greatest feeling in life isn't becoming rich. It's being able to look at the people you love and know your struggle was worth it. Because real success is not just about changing your own life. It's about becoming the reason someone else starts believing in hope again. And sometimes, the people who once felt completely lost become the very people who inspire others to never give up. Years later, Daniel stood alone on a quiet beach in California just before sunrise. The sound of the waves. Cold morning air. A peaceful silence all around him. Life looked completely different now. He had the success people dream about. A growing business. A beautiful home. Financial freedom. But as he watched the sun slowly rise over the ocean, one truth stayed in his heart. None of it came easy. Every sleepless night. Every rejection. Every moment he almost gave up. It all mattered. Because those painful days built the man he had become. His phone rang softly. It was a message from Ethan. "Proud of you, bro. You changed all our lives." Daniel looked at the message and smiled quietly. Not because of the money. Not because of the success. But because he remembered where they started. The fear. The pressure. The empty pockets. The silent struggles nobody ever saw. And yet, they survived it all. At that moment, Daniel realized something powerful. Life will test everyone. Some people will quit when things get hard. Others will keep moving forward even when nothing makes sense. And those are the people who eventually change their lives forever. Before leaving the beach, Daniel wrote a short sentence in his notebook. Your current situation is not your final destination. Then he closed the notebook and walked away with a peaceful smile. Because he finally understood. Dreams don't belong to the lucky. They belong to the people who refuse to stop fighting for them. And somewhere out there, another young man was probably sitting alone, feeling lost, tired, and hopeless. Just like Daniel once did. But maybe, if he keeps going one more day, works one more hour, believes in himself one more time, his story could change too. And that's the beautiful thing about life. No matter how dark today feels, tomorrow always has the chance to become something better.